After months of anticipation, Pokémon Sword and Shield has finally been released into the wild. But before you fire up your Nintendo Switch and start filling out your Pokédex, here's 6 things you need to know before you play the game. One of the biggest decisions when buying a new Pokémon game is which version to buy, due to a handful of monsters being unique to each edition, and with Sword and Shield, it's no different. Just like every release since Gold and Silver, they both contain an exclusive legendary Pokémon. Sword boasts Zacian, whereas Shield has Zamazenta. Taking their cues from the title, Zacian has a blade in its mouth that can cut through anything, and is described as having attacks so graceful that its movements can captivate opponents. Zamazenta meanwhile has a body covered in a shield-like armor that can deflect any attack, with movements so regal and majestic that they can overwhelm any opponent. Among the other beasts exclusive to Shield are Rapidash and the Galarian form of Ponyta, whereas Sword will have the likes of Sirfetch'd and Hydreigon. Don't fret if you've opted for one version or the other though, as the creatures are tradable to keep completionists happy. Choosing a starter Pokémon is another tough choice prospective trainers will face, and one that could affect the rest of their adventure. So if you're undecided, it's wise to pick one that best suits your style of play. Sword and Shield has the usual trio of grass, water and fire creatures, with Grookey, Sobble and Scorbunny all vying to be your companion. As you tend to face a lot of grass-type Pokémon early on in the game, some players might opt out of choosing Grookey or Sobble, and go for Scorbunny to give them the initial edge and build a more balanced team from the start. However, it is worth taking into consideration their final evolutions, to get a better understanding of what each one will bring to your squad. Grookey evolves into Thwackey before changing into Rillaboom, who possesses a large health reserve to soak up damage and powerful attacks, but lacks speed. Scorbunny becomes Reboot before its final form Cinderace, which is a more balanced fighter offering impressive health and attack stats combined with speed. Finally, Sobble transforms into Drizzile and then into Inteleon, whose biggest strength is its attack called Snipe Shot, which is able to deal game-changing amounts of damage to opponents even if they have evade moves. No matter which starter Pokémon you end up with, there'll still be plenty of other creatures to complement your choice. Although if you're banking on including some of your favourites from previous generations, you might not want to miss this next part. The Sword and Shield roster will comprise of 400 Pokémon, with 81 new species to collect alongside 13 Galarian forms. But players hoping to complete a full Pokédex will be sorely disappointed, as 478 monsters have been cut from the game, including fan favourites like Bulbasaur and Luxray. Producer Junichi Masuda has recently explained this decision, reasoning that the Game Freak team wanted to balance the right number of Pokémon while also prioritising new gameplay ideas to keep the series fresh. The monsters could be added later as DLC or unlocked in events, as a data mine leak has revealed some missing sprites are actually in the game, but this marks the first time a mainline game hasn't included every previously released Pokémon at launch, leaving avid trainers unable to catch them all. For this latest adventure, Game Freak is whisking us away to a brand new corner of the Pokémon universe known as the Galar region. Inspired by the United Kingdom, the setting features a diverse range of towns, cities and landscapes to explore, including Motostoke, an industrial city where you'll find your first gym. Trains and the Corvi Night flying taxi service allow players to travel between these hubs with ease, so you won't have to cross the region on foot all of the time. Galar also has a vast wild area to explore that is found in the middle of the map and is around the size of 2 regions in Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's here that Pokémon roam freely around in the overworld for you to see. These encounters will be alongside the more traditional random encounters in long grass, and the exclamation mark encounters where you can either confront them or sneak by if you're not quite up to the task. Some of these beasts may be rare or have a higher level, adding an element of danger to the battles if you choose to engage with them. From time to time, you'll also be able to spot Pokémon that have a yellow aura around them, indicating that they have certain max individual values or an egg move, so they'll be worthwhile trying to catch. The game will also have dynamic weather conditions tailored to your geographical area via Wi-Fi that affect the Pokémon you'll discover. For example, there are more likely to be electric-type Pokémon roaming around during thunderstorms, meaning that the area will be filled with different varieties every time you visit. Sword and Shield is also introducing two new mechanics into battles called Dynamax and Gigantamax that are replacing the Mega Evolutions and Z-moves from previous installments. The Dynamax ability allows Pokémon to take on a larger form, boosting their stats and turning all of their moves into special max moves. This transformation can only be used in certain areas such as gyms, and players will have to be strategic when they trigger them, as the ability only lasts for 3 moves. Gigantamaxing, on the other hand, not only changes your Pokémon's size, but also their appearance. Along with improved stats, it also has the advantage of a G-Max move, which is specific to each Pokémon and is a souped-up version of one of their existing attacks. Only certain species can Gigantamax, however, and can be caught in the new 4-player max raid battles that take place in the wild area. These new forms bring an interesting new twist to battles, allowing you to gain the upper hand for a few short rounds. And obtaining a coveted Gigantamax Pokémon to add to your collection is sure to be a fun challenge. Gyms are a central part of any Pokémon game, and in Sword and Shield, there's 8 different ones spread across Galar to prove your worth. After battling through a number of trainers, you'll finally come face to face with the gym leader, and a Dynamaxed Pokémon. Your first fight will bring you up against Milo and a level 19 Grass-type Eldegoss, which is why some players may be reluctant to choose the water-based Sobble as their starter. Each version of the game also has 3 exclusive gyms, so if you have a type preference, it may sway your decision on which copy of the game you pick up. Sword has Fairy, Rock and Fighting gym leaders to defeat, whereas Shield sees you entering bouts with Ice, Ghost and Poison gym leaders. Once you've defeated all these gyms and collected their badges, you'll also be able to enter the Champion Cup, a yearly event that gives you a chance to become the ultimate champion. So those are the 6 things you need to know before you play Pokémon Sword and Shield. Do you have any tips for budding trainers, and which starter Pokémon did you choose? Let us know in the comments below, and if you're looking for more games to play, why not check out our list of the top 10 indie games on Switch. Thanks for watching.